The spectacular explosion of the unmanned rocket has called into question the use of Soviet-era space hardware to get supply ships to the International Space Station. Now, this comes as crews spent the day picking up debris. The company launching the rocket, Orbital Sciences Corporation, uses two modified versions of Russian engines that routinely failed back in the 60s and 70s and were abandoned by the Soviets. Investigators still have not said what caused yesterday's explosion, but many observers are now questioning those engines. And we also learned today Orbital Sciences Corporation had one of its refurbished Soviet engines fail at a testing facility just a few months ago in May. While the company adds up its losses, hundreds of students across the country are wondering what could have been because their science experiments blew up on that rocket. Fox 4's Calvert Collins joining us now from Rockwall High School, where one team prepared their experiment for space. Calvert.
Well, in a matter of 6 seconds, Heather, these Rockwall freshmen experienced a major high and a very deep low. Seeing that rocket with their experiment on board burst into flames. It is possible that pieces of that experiment may be in the 1,400 square mile debris field around the launch pad in Virginia, but this team is already looking forward to its next opportunity.
Got main engines at 108%.
There was a lot riding on this Antares rocket. Many dreams crushed by a single explosion.
And it was like, that's a lot of hard work by a lot of people, and that really kind of stinks.
Got 10 in the middle left.
1/4 of the cargo weight of the unmanned rocket came from 18 student scientific research projects. One experiment from these Rockwall freshmen.
We wanted to see what cancer cells would do if they got sent into space, to see if you could maybe use it as a treatment option if it became more feasible to go to space.
The classmates started last spring in 8th grade as part of the National Science and Space Education Program, and a chance to get a coveted spot on a rocket bound for the International Space Station, where scientists would conduct their experiments. Over the summer, the teens enlisted the knowledge of a scientist at UT Southwestern who suggested using yeast as the main ingredient. The team won their school and district competitions, then got the nod from NASA.
And it's been a yo-yo effect. It's going to launch and we get excited and then it's delayed. It's going to launch, we get excited and we get delayed, and we finally get to where it's actually taking off.
8 in the bottom left.
The plan was, once Antares arrived at the International Space Station, scientists there would crack a tube allowing the yeast to grow in microgravity. Then they would cap it before returning it to Earth. Antares was supposed to be the third of 8 cargo flights for Orbital Sciences Corporation, which contracts with NASA to transport cargo to the ISS. As the teens ate pizza and cake watching the launch, they learned in 6 seconds mistakes happen even in rocket science.
It's an obstacle that we can overcome, and we just have to persevere through it, and we'll get the results. We just have to wait a little bit longer. Well, all is not lost. Orbital Sciences Corporation has said that it does plan another launch for early December. Obviously, a lot depending on the weather and other various factors. So the Rockwall team plans to have its experiment on that rocket as well. UT Austin also had a student experiment on the rocket. So no word yet if the same experiments will be on board this new rocket, and certainly hoping for the best for all these local teams.
Oh, of course, you feel so bad for all those students, all their hard work. All right, Calvert, thank you.